Hey guys, okay, so I now haven't posted for about 2 months. This is because I had a lot going on and I had to take a little break. Or because I just forgot. I shouldn't say that. So, today's video, you guys don't have to watch it. It's something that a lot of people don't like. If you read the title of it and you don't really know what it means, or it's something that you do know but you don't want to hear about, you don't have to watch it. It's okay if you don't. So today I'm talking about on Disney Plus the Clone Wars and basically the Star Wars and what my theory is about it, about basically the chosen one. So if you have watched the Clone Wars and and right now I'm not close to being done with season 3. If you've been watched like you imagine season 3, there was a point where you meet three people. It was the old man and the daughter and the son. The son was basically a Sith, but not 100%. Then the daughter was basically the good. So basically, there was a good side, and dark side, and the father gave birth to them both. Basically, so we all know that they both. This is spoilers. It's only know, but I'm pretty sure most people watched it. But the same spoiler warning. So we both know that they both die. But when you think about it, so remember this in mind. The father said, first much must come destruction, then comes creation." Remember that line. I'll tell you at the end of the video when to remember it. So in the video, or in the thing, the daughter dies. So he says that the Sith are now more powerful than the good side, basically, in a way. We have no idea how long was that. Basically, they're just sleeping and they're just having a dream, and it's all about this. Basically, it's real, but they got back on their ship for about like a second. Of course, in there, that's only for a split second, but we think. Jesus Christ. So basically, for a split second, basically a second or a split second, the dark side had more powerful, was powerful, and their time it basically could have been about at least 2 hours, maybe even a day, but I doubt it. I think it's for about at least 2 hours or maybe less that the dark side had more powerful. If you think about it, we have no idea what the hell happened during that time. It's just a second. It could have been just a second. Maybe it could have been like 10 minutes. But we don't know what could have happened to the dark side. Of course, not a lot could happen. But we don't know what would have happened. We don't know what happened. Because basically, at that moment, the dark side basically ruled. Basically, this was the good side, this was the dark side. Dark side at that moment went up to here. Because the one lady who was a sister died. So that had made a massive strike into the balance, and this went up, the dark side. We have no idea what happened during that time. Stuff could have happened that we have no idea. Probably nothing happened. There's a fly in here, maybe a mosquito. We have no idea what happened. But if we go more about it, like what happened. So basically, that happened for that long. But then the father dies. And this gets really worse because the father dies. That means that the bounds of the good side went even deeper. If you think about it, even though the son died basically right after, Jesus Christ, right after, there, there was literally basically a moment again where the dark side ruled over the light side. Like it was here, it probably went up to here. You think about it. But then the son dies. So that means the dark side basically went back down. But now when you think about it, the father died. He died. And he's basically the one person who keeps balance to the force. He's basically harmony itself. Harmony, well, I think the definition of harmony was mean that. Is that a spider? No. That's a fly. Oh my god. So, harmony basically is good and evil. The father basically did was that. He gave birth to two. Basically, gave birth to two of his children. One girl, one boy, one had the good side, one had the bad side. They both died, but he died basically the second, and the son died. But we don't know what could have happened. But if you think about it, the chosen one was supposed to take his place. So if they both died, that means the power of the balance went to Anakin. This is what I think. So basically, all the power, the balance of the Force, went to Anakin because he's the chosen one. He was supposed to stay there, but he didn't. Well, maybe not. But all the power went to Anakin, but we all know that he turns to the dark side. That means that the balance of the Force went shit. Basically, the bad side went all the way up, really high, because basically even the balance of the Force was in Anakin. He turned to the dark side. He did. So basically, for a moment, for that long period of time, the dark side ruled for a long time. But when Luke was fully matured, basically, because you could say, and he actually had basically used the Force first time, the lightsaber. If we're trying to get like an actual scale, this would have been the bad side and the good side. There'd be a long shot. This is like supposed to be like really far down, but if we were to get like a purely distant scale, it'd be like this. When Luke finally showed power of the Force, this went up. And then think about how much it went up. It went here. It went up to here. That's a lot. So that has something happened. So that's how the good side started repel. Even though there's still a distance between it, that's how it repelled. But that's not enough. But when Luke finally basically met Obi-Wan, it went up a little bit further. But then of course when he found out his father was the dark side, I went down. But then when he found Yoda and got up to here, and he made his own lightsaber and got up to here. Basically, the good and bad side were basically like that. But but this is what I think. So when Darth Vader basically turned to the light side, he died. So the chosen one balance force went to Luke. He was the only one person who had the bloodline of Skywalker, and he was the only one who can do it. So he had to win the balance of Luke. I think every time when someone becomes the new chosen one, they have to choose a side. And when they choose the side of which side, they have to stay on that side. But if they switch for a moment or switch for good, they will die. If it's like switch, if it become the good side for like, maybe for like a long time because they want to become a good person, that would happen. If they're a good person and switch to the dark side even for a little bit, they will die sooner in the future. So when Luke became that, we all know that Luke apparently did, in fact, turn to the dark side for about maybe 30 seconds when he went to go kill Kylo Ren or Ben Solo or Skywalker. But we would call him Ben Solo because we all know it was the father's last name becomes Charles' name. So that's what happened. So Ben Solo, known as Kylo Ren, basically Luke turned to the dark side, and that set his fate final. He would die. Basically, the balance of the Force between them was gone. The balance went out. It went to Ben. He was the new chosen one because he still basically didn't choose a side set, and he did. It was the bad side. So that brought forth the First Order. And that happened almost as long as rebellion, but not for long. That what happened. And we all know that Luke dies later on in the film. This is spoilers. I said the beginning of the video. I'm sorry if I didn't say it sooner. But there is spoilers. I'm pretty sure everyone watched The Last Jedi and also The Force Awakens. Maybe not Rise of Skywalker, so I'd say there's a spoiler for that too. So, basically Luke dies. So when he dies, basically it already happened. Nothing really happens. He dies because he switched the side for a little bit, and the chosen one has to choose his side because he's the chosen one. He can choose only one side, and he has to stick with that side for the rest of his life until he dies, or switch. But we switch his fate side, find out, and they're gonna die pretty soon or shortly. Luke dies. But if you think about it, people might say, well, how's that possible? What if Luke didn't do that? Well, how's that possible? Luke died pretty later on, probably maybe a year or two. That's only because he did it for a split second. If you did it less than 3 hours, less than a minute, and it's basically half a minute, you might have done that, maybe less. That means that his lifespan would have gone a little bit further. So the time he would die would be there. Darth Vader died right away because his sword system was failing, and if he still kept become the light, if he came to the dark side again, just to get recover and becomes the light, he would die shortly after. That's what I think. And then Luke dies. Then Kylo Ren, he's still alive. Luke dies before Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is still alive in the Rise of Skywalker. Spoilers for Rise of Skywalker. So Kylo Ren's alive. I really hope this video is not cut off. I'll be really fucking pissed if it does. I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay, so I want to just get back into it. So Kylo Ren, no, it's Ben Solo. He basically is still on the dark side. But we saw that Rey is a Palpatine. So remember that she's a Palpatine. It doesn't matter if she changed her last name. Doesn't matter if she changed her last name to Skywalker. She is a Palpatine. Her blood is a Palpatine. So when Kylo Ren, basically the Force was like this. When Kylo Ren switched to the light side, basically for good, that's when things going haywire. Anything could have happened. Basically, he died shortly after. He literally died. Every chosen one. Maybe there's only, but I don't know. People might think, oh, there's only one chosen one. Well, if you watch the Clone Wars, the Rebel Star Wars, we saw that Maul said is Luke the child. No, it's Luke the chosen one, and Obi-Wan nods or says yes. Maybe I'm wrong. That means that there could be more than one chosen one. That means when he died, the chosen one basically almost got lost. It would have gone to Leia. That name is, Leia. Princess Leia. But she died way before. So who was supposed to give it to? The chosen one was given to Rey. Because she changed her last name. But there's one problem. She's still a Palpatine. Now the chosen one is now only belongs to the bloodline of a Palpatine. If she changes her name, last name, doesn't matter. She's still a Palpatine. But that means that basically now the Palpatine bloodline, whoever's left, is going to become the new chosen one. And Rey, basically now, she chooses the light side. So it means that finally the light side is set to be up. And we all know that Rey was stuck between being a dark side or light side, so that makes sense. She had the same choice as Anakin and as Luke. Rey had the same choice. It's in the same situation as Anakin in the Clone Wars because he had to choose which side, and he would be the light side. Or of course he chooses the dark side sooner or later. Basically, he didn't really choose the light side; he just become the light side, but he's gonna become the dark side later. What look like? So basically, Rey, Palpatine bloodline, now has the power of the chosen one. But there's one problem: if Rey does not conceive a child before she dies. Nothing, go. Go! What? Corey, please go! Okay, so, basically, Rey, every Palpatine line is now has the power of the chosen one. But if Rey does not conceive a child before she dies, Jesus Christ, the chosen one power is lost. And that means that the fate of everything is off. It's off for good. It's gonna be in, out, because there's no one left to control it. And basically, Anakin was the only one who was left, and every chosen one basically had this power, and it would basically choose which side. but if there is at least one Palpatine bloodline, that person will become the new chosen one. But we pretty much doubt it. That means if Rey somehow died before Palpatine would be the new chosen one, and he will stay. We all know he was going to stay the dark side forever. You don't know that. We all know that. Maybe one day he might change. Doesn't matter. He's gonna stay to the dark side, and if once he dies, still staying to the dark side, that's gonna be forever, forever. Unless there's another bloodline or another person who carries the blood of Palpatine that's still alive, or a Skywalker. But there's no one. So Rey's the last one. So if she makes a baby, then he's the new chosen one. But that's my theory. That's what's gonna happen. If that's why I think there's always a new chosen one, and it's always be the person that's gonna set the balance to what force is the good. It's the good side or light side. We all know. Think about it. Remember what I said at probably 5 minutes in the video, that the man who the first person who basically the one old man who have two children. There was the one girl who's the good side and one boy who's the bad side. We all know that. I forgot their name. The son and the daughter. They both die. He said there's creation, there's destruction before creation. So basically, if you think about it, every time when Anakin became the dark side, he destroyed stuff because he was on the dark side. But then came creation, and that became Luke. But then Luke did it for a little bit. It had a little bit of destruction, but that became Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren became more destruction. Then Rey comes, and then boom, good. And think about it, Rey's probably the only person who's probably gonna live on the good side forever, because maybe not. Luke did become the dark side for about maybe 10 seconds, and we don't know he did or not. We have two different stories from Kylo Ren or Ben Solo and Luke. They're two different stories, and basically the one that seems the most truest is the one when he becomes the dark side just for a little bit. That's my theory. If you don't think that's right, it could be wrong. It's just a theory. It actually could be wrong, because there's probably only one chosen one, because there's only one person who got the power of that. That's what I think. But remember, every chosen one had a power of Skywalker. So basically, whoever the father was had to be someone who's really powerful of the Force. People said that it was the Force itself that made Anakin, or that was Palpatine using midichlorians to make Anakin. If that's true, then basically, Anakin's father was the old man, the one who gave birth to the son and daughter that were both bad and good. He was the one. I forgot his name, but he's basically the father of Anakin. If you think about it, because he's the Force basically itself. Well, he's a person who can control the Force at different levels as a Jedi and Sith. So I'm gonna stop the video here. If it cuts out, then that's it. I can't. It's too late. But that's why I think, because that's the only way that can actually work. So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Honestly, usually every YouTuber doesn't say this, but you don't subscribe, because I'm probably gonna do another 2 months. But I'm gonna try to upload. It's just that when I upload gaming videos, no one really watches it. So to me, there's really no point. Share Factory, if you guys can find videos, send it to me, that'd be great. I saw a friend who said that if I can get a $60 hard drive, he can edit my videos for me. I can do that. Of course, he doesn't want me to pay him for it, but I can do that. I can have that video inside the hard drive, keep sending it to him, so he can get it, and make the video send back to me. I can upload them. That could happen, but I'm honestly right now I'm not in the moment of doing this. But I think right now this channel looks like it's just be ones about theories and shit. So let's end the video. Guys, leave a like, or leave a like in this video. Talk to me in the comments about what you think this is right or wrong, or what you think this is. I will have any opinion. Of course, remember some people who say, "Oh, you're completely wrong," or "You're dumbass," or saying other things. You can say whatever you want. But right now, I'm hoping you guys tell me what is your opinion about this video. I want to know, because this is a theory video, so there's always opinions about it. So guys, tell me what you think about it. So this is the end of the video. This is about 20 minutes long. This thing probably won't be released, because it has to be like around 13 minutes for a video to be sent. So this is the end of the video. See you later, and I hope you guys have a good day.